And that's what I think of United Through Hope, is that it is a team, and that team extends to everyone, from not just that child or that young adult, but their parents, their church, their school, their friends, their roommates. I mean, it's large. It's larger than yourself.
There is something special inside you.
Welcome to GNG Podcast with your host, speaker, best-selling author, Chaz Jackson.
Yo, what's going on, kings and queens? It's your boy Chaz Jackson coming back to you once again, representing GNG Giftinagift. You are gifted differently to make a difference. Hope you know that, and hope you're inspired by hearing that. And we have a difference maker on the show today. Dr. Harrier is in the building. Are you ready to get it?
Hey, Chaz, thanks for having me today. I totally appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Harrier. So I know you're doing some phenomenal things, empowering our next generation to be greater versions of themselves, being a psychologist, doing some phenomenal things through your nonprofit, United Through Hope. But the audience is super eager to learn more about you. How'd you get started? Like, can you go on your backstory to how you got to where you are in 2022 for the audience?
I've always wanted to work with kids. I thought I was going to be a teacher at one point in my life. I also thought I was going to be a doctor, like an actual doctor, go to med school, all that kind of stuff. I decided that was just a lot of money that I wasn't able to spend. And basically, I went into the psychology program and I got into graduate school. And one of my professors pulled me aside and she said, "You're in the wrong part of the psychology program." I said, "What are you talking about?" And, again, it's about, somebody paid attention to me and they sent me to school psychology. And I'd never heard of it. And she said, "Hey, you can go work in the schools and make a difference in the schools. You can work hands-on with the kids. You can do interventions. You can make a difference that way." And I said, "Okay." And so that's the direction I took. And I was there for almost 15 years in the schools. And what I did in the schools is I was the one that helped create all the interventions for all the different kids that needed it. Social interventions, a lot of teaching them to communicate better with others, to connect better, to work through those tough situations. And
what grade did you do? What grade?
So I did all the grades, but the last probably 10 years, I was actually at Geyer High School up in Denton, ISD. Met some wonderful people over there, including my principal there, who let us just run with the programs. And then I had an incredible special ed director named Val Morgan, who let me develop a summer program, and which was kind of unheard of. And then from there, it just kind of just blossomed. And after a while, parents at other places were like, "We really, really want, our kids to be part of that also." So I decided to leave the schools with a huge group of amazing people. They helped us launch the nonprofit United Through Hope. We've been open now for all these years, since 2012, and 2 locations, one in Frisco, one in Denton. We have a male tenant house and a female tenant house where you can live after age 18 to really further your skills. We're starting to work on teaching some of them to drive. We take them to community outings. We have them in our buildings working on relationship pieces. I mean, it's really growing and everything. And every day I get to do what I love, which is to be around people and make that change and see the change. I mean, but one of the coolest things, if I'm allowed to tell a story for a second, Chaz.
Please, yes.
Okay, because this is one of those moments. So if you go to our Facebook and stuff, you'll see it. I just posted about this young man named Ian. Ian is now going to be an Eagle Scout pretty soon. He'll have the big ceremony. But
congratulations, Ian. That's awesome.
Yeah, so Ian came and did his Eagle Scout project with us. But I knew him when he was in elementary school. He was part of our stuff. And to see this young man just blossom and grow up and now be a senior in high school, directing all these Boy Scouts to get his project done. He had to work with a welder to get it to happen. He had to work with supply chain issues, time management. I mean, that's what it's about, Chaz. When you watch that growth, and to see it. And that's why I do what I do, is I get to see them grow up and to see the change.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Harrier, for diving deeper into your story, the things that you're passionate about. And I just want to just say thank you for helping our young people excel towards their greatest version of themselves. It seems like you have an amazing vision. Already talking about how you've had this nonprofit established for over a decade now, right? Has it been like 13 years? And just being focused. And I know there's been a lot of storms that came your way, but you stayed the course, and you allow those obstacles to help you grow, help your team grow, to better serve them. So thank you so much for what you do. And when you hear United Through Hope, what does that mean to you? Like when you hear United Through Hope in a personal development leadership aspect, what comes to mind?
I think what it means to me is that it's an understanding that no one does it by themselves. You have to surround yourself with people that are there for you. They're not there to take advantage of you. They're there honestly because they want to be there to be part of your growth. And it's a lot of people that believe in you and know that they're going to take an honest approach with it. They're not going to tell you it's going to be easy. Because I'm sorry, I don't know about you, Chaz, but life is not easy.
No, it's not.
It's a journey. It's hard. It's full of a lot of, falls, but you have to figure out how to pick yourself back up. But we never do that by ourselves. We always do it with that army of people around you. And that's what I think of United Through Hope, is that it is a team, and that team extends to everyone, from not just that child or that young adult, but their parents, their church, their school, their friends, their roommates. I mean, it's large. It's larger than yourself. So
I really love that, larger than yourself. And it seems like, again, teamwork is important, persevering, having that self-discipline to go at life. And I love how you said, it's a journey, and it's not a destination, if you will. We're constantly growing and striving to be better people. And this podcast is built on providing tips and techniques for young men as they strive to grow in personal development and leadership. And I know one of you have your male tenant and your female tenant, as far as United Through Hope goes. What type of encouragement do you have for that young male that's listening to you right now, that's just having a hard time with plowing through? I know we kind of talked about having, going through those storms, those obstacles, if you will. So any words of encouragement that you work with?
I think one of the things that we often tell our young men, and I often use the phrase with some of our young adults of, I want you to be a man. And we talk about what being a man means, is it means that you need to speak up. You need to say what you need, but do it in a way that gets you the correct help that you need. So voicing your needs instead of keeping it close to your chest, and getting out there and not being afraid that somebody might turn you down. It's okay. I mean, that happens. But that's why we go back out and we put our next foot out and we try again and we try again and we try again. So a lot of what we work on with our men is to remind them that you're going to stumble, but there are always people out there, if you ask, that they will help you. But you have to be open to that.
Wow.
And
that's so true.
I think that's something this generation is struggling with, is being open to hearing the help and using it. They do a lot of talking on social media. They don't do a lot of listening.
Whoa, hold on. You got to say that one more time. Somebody need to hear. That was so deep. Like, please repeat that, Dr. Harrier.
They do a lot of talking on social media, but not a lot of listening.
Wow, it's so important to do.
Yes, and that's what we see, is there's a lot of just that noise and everything. And so you got to learn to push the noise away and hear what is the meat, what's the theme of being, said, or what you need to do, and focus on the theme. And that way you can move yourself through that challenge or that dark time and get out on the other side to see everything that you've done is created and everything.
Harrier, as she strives through 2022 and continue to add value to our students, to the community, and they want to get more in front of what you're doing. Can you share your contact information with the audience, and also share some things out there, what you got going on moving forward through the rest of 2022 into 2023? We want to be praying. We want to be supporting you. What you got?
Sure. Well, thanks, Chaz, for that opportunity. So the easiest way to kind of reach out to us and find out what we do, because it is kind of expansive, is just to go to our website, and that's going to be unitedthroughhope.org. And you're going to spell all those words out. So it's going to be a double H. So the long way spelling through. Everybody spells it wrong, but I wasn't very creative. I went with the easy way. So that's the easiest thing to do, because then when you kind of look at that website, you're going to see we're going to have programs for 18 and older. We're going to have programs for teens, and you got those, ones for the K through 5th. We have a lot of parent programs that we'll do to help out with the parents because they are raising the next generation. And then we do a lot of volunteers. We work with a lot of up and coming graduate students, undergraduate, those, trying to, just find what they like to do. So volunteer opportunities are there also. As for what we have coming up in the rest of this year, we're working on COVID took a big hit on us, like it did for any nonprofit. So we're trying to rebuild, basically to get our staff to start being able to offer more programs at both of our locations. And that way, then we can reach more members. And that's kind of what we have on the books right now is a lot of just the expansion piece so that we can reach more members. And then you and I were talking right before the podcast started. We're actually going to try to start up our own podcast so that if you can't be with us for all of our relationship-based topics, you can still catch us. And that way you can still learn and grow and, become the better version of yourself, which we know is in every one of us.
Wow, so many things that we can be lifting up and praying. And I know all those things are going to come to pass because you are a resilient individual. I can already tell just about a little bit of time we've been able to spend together. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that podcast coming out. I'm definitely going to be checking it out for sure. But thank you so much for your time, your effort, Dr. Harrier, for coming on GNG podcast, shining your light, giving some amazing value to the audience. It means so much to us.
I appreciate it, Chaz. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and lead us out. I told each and every one of you this was going to be a phenomenal episode. I would love to hear an application point that you took from this episode. One that I'm personally going to take that Dr. Harrier said is listen. Listen to our young people. Not only our young people, our adults, anyone that comes into your path, because we learn way more when we listen. So again, wherever you listen to us, please drop in the comments. Let us know what other application points you might took. I want you to take the daily challenge of listening on my standpoint. And also share this out. Share this out if you feel led to, if you took some value from this episode. We need to get more people in front of what United Through Hope is doing and the impact that Dr. Harrier and her team is making on the DFW area. So I want each and every one of you to stay up with GNG. More episodes coming soon. As always, I want you to do two things for me. Keep that crown on your heart. And please remember this. We are God's echo. I love each and every one of you. Talk with you soon. Peace.
Thank you for listening to GNG Podcast. Remember, you are gifted differently to make a difference. Please visit ChazJacksonSpeaks.org and let's continue to grow together. God bless.